Hi, happy learners! It's time again to learn interesting topics in mathematics. Distance between 2 points. The distance between 2 points is always non-negative, meaning the distance is positive when 2 points are different, and the distance is 0 when 2 points are the same. Consider the points aligned either horizontally or vertically on this 3D model for Cartesian plane. Given points A, whose coordinates are positive 2 and positive 5, and point B, whose coordinates are positive 7 and positive 5. Let's write it down. Notice that the y-coordinates are of the same value. To determine the distance of these 2 points that are aligned horizontally, we simply take the absolute value of the difference of the x-coordinates. In symbols, the distance is equal to the absolute value of x sub 1 minus x sub 2. Hence, the distance from point A to point B is equal to the absolute value of 2 minus 7. Applying the rules on subtracting integers, the expression within the absolute value can be rewritten in the absolute value of 2, change the operation to addition, and change the sign of our subtrahend, which is now a negative 7. Using the abacus-like integers for adding integers, we take 2 beads for positives and 7 beads for negatives. Take away the least number of beads on both sides, which is 2. 1, 2. There were 5 beads on the negative. Thus, 2 plus negative 7 will give us a negative 5. The absolute value of any negative number is always positive. Hence, the distance from point A to point B is equal to 5 units. Now, let's take another points on the Cartesian plane that are aligned vertically this time. Consider again the point B, whose coordinates are 7 and 5, and point C, whose coordinates are positive 7 and negative 6. If points are aligned vertically, such as point B and point C, we compute for the absolute value of the difference of the y-coordinates, since this time the x-coordinates are of the same value. So let's write it down. Point C has the coordinates which are positive 7 and negative 6. Since your x-coordinates now are of the same value, we say that the distance is equal to the absolute value of the difference of your y-coordinates. Thus, the distance from point B to point C is equal to the absolute value of positive 5 minus negative 6. Again, applying the rules on subtracting integers, we now have the absolute value of 5. Proceed to the operation of addition and then change the sign of our subtrahend, which will give us now a positive 6. 5 plus 6 will give us 11, and the absolute value of 11 is equal to a positive 11. Thus, the distance from point B to point C is equal to 11 units. To verify if the derived distance is correct, we can also just do the counting from one point to another using the grid on our 3D model for Cartesian plane. So let's go back to example 1. The distance from point A to point B is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 units is the same result we had earlier. Next, for example 2, the distance between points B and C is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It is the same result that we had derived earlier. That's easy, right? However, counting the distance from one point to another is not that convenient, especially if 2 points are plotted beyond this provided 3D model for Cartesian plane, or the points are not aligned either horizontally or vertically. In this situation, the use of the distance formula is more appropriate, but we will learn about the distance formula on my next video. So stay tuned with ICEVI. Happy learning, everyone!